Hello everyone, it's BYG Agami back with another video, and today is a good day to be alive for a Yu-Gi-Oh fan because today sort of marks the new era in Yu-Gi-Oh! The new installment, the 6th series by NES known as Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS. We actually got an episode 1 preview or promo clip or trailer, whatever you guys want to call it. I'm just going to call it episode 1 preview. Simply because if you look at it, it seems like the episode 1 plot, it makes sense. It wouldn't be logical for them to show stuff from other episodes that are far off. And before I even begin on with this review / breakdown, I want you guys to note that there was a 5 to 6 week delay for Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS. That's why we got Yu-Gi-Oh! Labo. The thing is that this delay helped out immensely, I would say. Just looking at the trailer, I've seen it a couple of times before this recording, and it looks amazing. The animation looks good. The CGI is okay. It's pretty decent. It's not top quality like DSOD, but granted, DSOD has like an infinite amount of budget. Just looking at it, it looks beautiful. There's literally no like bad frame, except those like side frames. But when you're looking at the characters' faces that are like just not distant and far away, they look stunning. And we also got a few other clips like images about Yusaku along with CGI renders of Cracking Dragon, and I will discuss and break down that if needed. But let's just go into the episode 1 preview. So it starts off with Den City. That is the city for Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS, the location. And what's interesting is that when we got the concept of Den City from Yu-Gi-Oh! Labo along with that dual concept image or the dual image concept, Den City looked so dark and gloomy, just looked very satellite-esque from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Now, this is Den City without the Link VRAINS world or the duel happening. So what's interesting about this image on the screen right now is that from my interpretation of this, it seems that they're trying to incorporate what a lot of fans want, and that's not too much color like Zexal and Arc 5 had, staying very normal to the big 3 or the first 3 Yu-Gi-Ohs that we had. But then you got your very dark and gloomy scenery setting that each Yu-Gi-Oh does have at least one point in the run that they have. So it's cool to see that Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS is implementing this, but they're doing it both at the same time. And it's going to be consistent. They're going to hopefully do this for the next 148, 150 episodes, however long VRAINS lasts for. So the next scene is just a panning, cropping of Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS, the city, Den City, and then we have a picture, or my bad, not a picture, rather an animation shot of Kusanagi, who is a hacker, who might be Yusaku's friend, but they do share a same motive, which is taking that mysterious life form. And Kusanagi is doing his job, which is a hot dog vendor. Of course, this is just a persona as he is a real hacker. And then we have Yusaku Fujiki. And in some shots, his hair looks kind of weird, but for the most part, it looks really good and really well detailed. So what I think the shot is just them discussing about the SOL technology that they're after, this AI program, because Kusanagi does have a source or does have that information that SOL technology is after this mysterious life form. So Yusaku along with Kusanagi are just discussing it most likely. You know how they do it in like typical movies where they're just at a Starbucks or they're at a coffee shop, the CIA agent, and they're just talking about their plans, trying to hide under the government, even though the actor stands out among the crowd and he's like 6'2" wearing a leather jacket, and it's just typical movie style things that they do, and it looks very similar to what VRAINS is doing. And another possible theory that I think could possibly happen is they're just at the hot dog vendor shop that Kusanagi works at, and they're just chilling after school. Before I even begin on with breaking down the clips, there's actually a bit of information I should tell you guys, and I do want to say shouts out to DMC for the translations as always. So we got translations from the VRAINS clip or episode 1 preview, and there's a line that Kusanagi along with Yusaku say. So Kusanagi says, if you run into that thing, you'll probably be able to have fun with dueling. Sorry for dragging you into this, Yusaku. And then Yusaku replies by saying, I'm doing this on my own volition. I'll wreak vengeance on the people who stole your younger brother and my past. So earlier I made a video talking about why Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS has the potential to be the greatest Yu-Gi-Oh! series, and I talk about how there isn't a personal motive. Well, my reasoning just got debunked with a simple line. So we do know that Yusaku is very much doing this because of his past. Along with Kusanagi, it's that he has a younger brother, and that we don't know who took the younger brother, but I would imagine it has to be the Knights of Hanoi. But the thing is, you know, they do the cliche brother thing. Oh, my brother did this. Oh, this happened. I need to take revenge upon them. And same with the whole cliche thing that Yusaku has about his past. But I'm just so interested on what his past is. What did the Knights of Hanoi do to take his past? What could it be? Simply because it's teasing as heck. I mean, it's literally teasing as heck. They've been hyping it up through promotions. They've been saying that everything leads back to Yusaku's past. And what's funny is that one clip that we got of Yusaku's voice happens to also talk about his past. So it's quite interesting. And we're just going to have to wait and see. But until then, I'm just going to have my theories and think about it. And I might do videos talking about what Yusaku's past might be. Just sort of examining Yoshida's writing style and watching a few of those episodes that he did work on. Along with the arcs that he did work on, I'll probably think of something, but I may not be correct. Anyhow, there is a clip of Go Onizuka, whom is supposedly 19 years old. And if he's 19 and in that shape, he's definitely on something, some sort of rocket fuel, injecting something. I'm just kidding. Of course, it's due to his design. We look at Go Onizuka. We don't know what his location is, but Dimsy's domain in his preview breakdown, he talks about how it sort of looks like the Eiffel Tower. Now, it might be, we really don't know, but it looks like a stage of some sort. Maybe he's wrestling. And then after that, we have the Blue Angel just waving, you know, trying to make that impression to the viewers that she's an idol, which she is. And they're doing a nice job on that. But I really wanted to see her in her normal state, the Aoi Zaizen form. And looking at the background, it looks really well done. I imagine that's in density, or possibly is in VR. Maybe there's different, as I've done a video with Dimsy's domain, which I will link down below. We talk about how there's multiple worlds in VR, simply due to this one translation that we got earlier this year. So maybe when they go into Link VRAINS, it sends them into different portions of that AI world, or there might be like different layers. And then we get the pose of the mysterious life form. You know, the thing is that I'm not really fond of his design, but after watching this clip, I sort of can deal with it. Like, initially, like, I never hated it or anything, but it was just like, if this is going to be Yusaku's partner similar to Yami to Yugi, then, you know, I'm going to have issues. But if I'm really not having issues, he looks fine to me. And then after that, we have Cracking Dragon breaking through the Link VRAINS system. As we can see her, right? If you look in, it seems like Cracking Dragon is coming through a portal, or there is a barrier protecting that area, and he just basically pierces right through that layer. Maybe it's a layer in that Link VRAINS world. And then after that, we have Go Onizuka showing up on these monitors. Maybe he notices Cracking Dragon coming after him. Hence why his reaction is projected on the screen. And then after that, we have Aoi, or my bad, not Aoi, rather Blue Angel on those monitors as well. Maybe, and I know I'm talking ahead of the trailer, but there's this one scene of that Knight of Hanoi member, breaking that dimension, that layer in Link VRAINS, and he's on Cracking Dragon. And there's another shot of Cracking Dragon breaking through that dimension. Maybe they were in separate dimensions, and he's basically coming to Yusaku's friends, Aoi and Go, and using them as hostage, possibly. Anyways, he breaks through that border, and then in the back you see darkness, and there's another thing of him, and the thing is, his design is not bad whatsoever. That Knight of Hanoi member, I love that little helmet piece that he has on. And he puts the deck into the dual disc, and they did that little cool spark effect, which I never seen in Yu-Gi-Oh before, so shouts out to them for that. And, oh, actually that was Yusaku putting his deck inside his dual disc. And it says into VRAINS, and Yusaku's sort of entering into the VRAINS world, so that's how they enter into the Link VRAINS system. They have their dual disc, so it might be very similar to Kaiba Corporation, how there are satellites in space that's allowing them to project their cards, allowing the solid vision system to work. So maybe there's something with SOL technology that has satellites into space, etc. And then we have this cool shot of Playmaker just going straight in, diving, gliding, whatever you want to call it. inside this air vault or something like that, and he just teleports, and he most likely is teleporting into Link VRAINS. And then we have a shot of Akira Zaizen, who is the head of the security department for SOL Technology. And then after that, we have a shot of Revolver. Now, if you look at in the back of it, what could that be? I have no idea. And then we just have Yusaku Fujiki riding on the data wind with his hoverboard, which is called the D-board. And I like that little purple sort of aura that they have when he's driving on the data wind. It's really cool to see that. And anyways, that's the first portion of this video. There's going to be another portion where they're just sort of images that we got for Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS that was featured in Yu-Gi-Oh! Labo. Anyhow, there's another preview that was in Labo, and it just shows an image of Yusaku along with the mysterious life form, which really isn't important. But there is this one shot of this character that we do not know yet. So there's a character that was featured in the episode 1 cast list, which I never did a video on, and that character's name is Spectre. So in this shot, it has a picture of Revolver next to this individual that we do not know yet. And Revolver looks like a straight up badass. I'm just going to be completely honest. He looks like straight up badass. While on the other side of him, we got this character. I'm not really fond of the dude's hair. I'm not digging that. But anyways, his design looks really cool. But I wonder if this is Spectre, and I wonder if he's possibly the head of SOL Technology. Maybe. Or maybe he's Yusaku's rival. I'm hoping not. I would rather have Revolver than that dude. In addition to that, the final clip in this preview features Emma Beshill, who is a character that is not, that the voice actor is not in episode 1 of VRAINS. So guys, take note of that. So maybe this is a clip later on, or she just doesn't speak and she's shown. And wow, it's basically like a still image of her, but they're zooming up, they're panning up to her face, and she looks very serious. And the thing is that her eye colors along with her design is basically purple, and then the background's purple. And purple in Yu-Gi-Oh! Sort of represents evil. It's very, very just evident. Like you look at Duel Monsters, when we saw Merrick, there was purple. That was the color, that was his aura. So I wonder if she's going to be evil. And I wonder what her role is in VRAINS. I will say this though. I'm not really fond of the hair design, but her eye color stands out. It's very nice. Along with that, so there was this extra clip in Labo that showed Naoki Shima along with Yusaku Fujiki. And from my initial looking at Naoki Shima, I thought this dude was going to be a bully. I thought he was going to be very much like Kutaragi. But actually, he seems like one of Yusaku's friends, and he also has a dual disc on him as well, so it looks like he might be entering Link VRAINS as well. But we see Yusaku's face very much sort of, I wouldn't say serious, he's just like sort of confused or just laid back or doesn't even give a crap talking to Naoki Shima. And I have no idea what they're discussing about, but it's pretty cool to look at that clip. And it's cool because we get to see Yusaku sort of do like a meme-esque face. You know, not on the level of GX, but it was sort of cool to see him have that, a drawing of him sort of looking offhand from how he normally looks. One other image I want to break down is that ending shot of Yusaku in the episode 1 preview. It sort of reminds me of Yusei, very like similar to episode 154 of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Towards the end of that, Yusaku, Jesus, VRAINS is getting me, guys. But anyways, Yusei is just leaning on the ledge looking at Domino City, and he gets up on top and puts his hands out, but prior to that he was just talking with Trudge or Yushio. Yusaku is leaning towards actually he's not leaning towards, he's like sort of laying back on the ledge, and he looks behind it and sort of smiles. This is the first image of Yusaku that we've seen of him sort of smiling. It's not a full-on proper smile, but he's just smirking, and that's cool to see. And then it ends off with this beautiful shot of Den City and Yusaku looking at the sun rise. And with that note, we're going to end off this video. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS. What are you guys hyped about? Was this a lot of information? I might be releasing a discussion today or tomorrow with Dimsy's Domain as we talk about if there was a lot of information shown in this trailer, or are they moving way too fast into the plot? So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel for more information as well as videos regarding Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS. Thank you guys for watching. Check out the Facebook and Twitter fan page, which is linked down below.